Hey, how's it going, Blue Riser here. Now, this is a game I've been playing for a while now, Pokemon Masters. It's their new gacha game that's just come out about, I want to say 2 weeks ago now, or maybe even a little bit more than that. It just came out. It's still pretty fresh and new. It's unfortunate that the game is really high spec, and most older phones can't actually play it. So that is a shame. So if you are interested, just check the Play Store or iOS store to see if your device is compatible with it. It's a shame that some people have to miss out on it. Now, I've been playing for a while now, and I've been playing almost non-stop every single day, so I've been grinding, but I want to talk in this video about things I hope will change about the game. And someone had brought up on my Discord that most of these Nintendo games, their smartphone games, really start off bare bones, and I'll agree with that. I think they start off bare bones, but they have the mechanics, what should I say, the aesthetic down pat. Like, this game looks good, it plays good, so I only can imagine what they can improve on. If you think back to like Fire Emblem Heroes, like how it first started, oh man, think about how bare it was and how people complained on and on and on and on about how boring it was. And then it got better and better and better, and they added more stuff, and then some people even complained that they added too much stuff. You can never really win, but I'm hoping they just add more to the game, because the more the better, the more it feels like a justified game, because a lot of these smartphone games don't feel justified in a way. It's just kind of one thing and that's it. Now, as I'm recording this, I really don't know how many things I'm going to bring up, and however many just come to mind. There are so many improvements this game can make, and I'll just list them off. I want to hit on the gacha first. One thing I think they can do is either a free summon a day, and that way you can actually summon, because 300 crystals, or whatever they're called, is a lot, and you don't build that up very fast at all. Your crystal gain is, this is probably one of the slowest games I've ever seen the premium currency like build up. It is so slow. Like, I think over the course of when I started playing, I maybe gained around 10,000 crystals. I have like 3,400 right now. I specifically remember doing at least 2 multis, but I think a free summon would work very well. And it's not even that the rates are bad, because the rates are the most generous I've ever seen in a smartphone game. It's just when you think of it as a gacha, it kind of fails on the point of how little you can summon. Like, normally, I'm going to use Fate Grand Order because I think they have a pretty good gacha system. Probably not rates, but, you know, not even probably. They have terrible rates, but the system works pretty well. 3 premium currency for 1 pull. Alright, so you have 300 here, which is pretty much equal to 3 if we just divide it, right? Clearing a mission or clearing a story part itself only awards you with less than 100. So you're not even getting a third. I'm talking about like just both of them, like a story mission and like a battle mission. You clear both of those, you don't even get a third of what you need to summon the character. And I think that's a pretty big issue if it wants to be a gacha, a competent one at that, because what's the goal of gachas? To add more characters as we go on. Now, we can say that maybe the banners will have certain characters always, like it'll always be a limited pool of like 50 characters. I'm saying that off the top of my head because I don't know how many are in the pool. But regardless, I think a free summon would really help the game out, especially as we go on. Now, to a similar effect, the games I've actually spent money on have been Fire Emblem Heroes and Dragalia, maybe FGO. I think so, but I definitely know I spend money on Fire Emblem and Dragalia. Now, the thing about Fire Emblem is, Fire Emblem has some of the most best prices for premium currencies. Now, again, if you don't support this kind of stuff, don't pay for it. In my mind, I think if the game is good and you think it is good, then give it a few bucks. It's okay. Now, it's been a while since I've opened Fire Emblem Heroes, but I remember a multi is fairly cheap, and if we're not counting these deals here, a multi here is almost $30. I don't believe this is at any way a justifiable price. Like right here, this first one, like for 99 cents, it should be 300. And then maybe around $15, or you can even bump it up to around 21, I think should be around the multi. There's no reason to spend this much money on this game, unfortunately. The prices are just way too steep. Especially since we don't get a pity counter, which we really don't need since the rates are pretty high on their own, but I think the prices are just too high. Then we move over to the shop, which I don't have too many gripes with, but I do feel like the evolution crystals are a bit too high in price. Again, I feel like so much of this is just really ridiculously high, like high mountains to climb. Like, all of this makes very little sense. So you want to get one of these bronze training machines. It costs 3,000 coin. Well, normally in a match, you sometimes get around 200 coins if you're doing like a more harder one. You can just do anything else and save your coins to get that training machine, and maybe you could even get 5 of them in one go. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense, the exchange rate. Like 100,000 for one gold training thing, that's ridiculous. Once you get there, it's very easy to complete that level up course on hard. It's very easy once you get there, and you can just run that over and over and over for like an hour and get 30 of those and still not make enough money to buy one. It's pretty ridiculous. These prices are crazy high. It doesn't make a lot of sense why you would even want to invest in any of it. Again, the exchange rate here, you would need a good reason to give up 50 of your silver drinks to get 1 gold. It would have to be a crazy reason. Like, I couldn't even understand, because getting gold ones, again, once you get to the level, once you've played enough and just understand how to beat those level up courses, and like the support course and the striker course and the tech course, once you get there, it's not hard to grind these materials. Yeah, it's going to take a long time, but it's not hard to get these materials. So trading in 50 of them just to get 1 doesn't seem worth it. If it was trading 50 to get, what, 5, then maybe I would see it being a little bit more worth it. But overall, the item exchange here is pretty terrible. It requires an enormous amount of grinding, and the payout isn't very worth it. Now, this is something I just kind of want to see. I'm not really asking for it. I don't really think it needs to have it. But I would like some sort of friendship bond thing where when you talk to characters, like here when they're here. Now let me just talk to Claire.
Yes.
Miss Thick Hips here. Like, every time I do that, maybe it'll increase my friendship point with her, and then maybe it's just like a special scene or like dialogue. That's all I'm really asking for. I'm not asking for increasing stats, nothing like that. Just something a little bit more flavor text to the characters. And even adding on to that, maybe something that will allow me to see their poses when I'm like looking at them in the gallery, like seeing her just throw her hand out forward, or like throwing a Pokeball animation, stuff like that. That'd just be little cool stuff just to see. Nice butt, Claire. Another thing is, when you clear a mission, a little mission thing will appear right above here over your phone, the phone icon over here, and you go to mission, right? And so you're just here to clear missions. It showed you on your home page. It's like, oh, well, let me just collect these missions right now, and then let me go back to what I'm doing. Well, normally when you press back, you're sent right here, back to the, I guess I'll call this home page or something. No, this is the home page, setting page. I don't like that, especially if you're just there to clear the mission. I know it's a little thing, it's a bit tedious though. You just have to back out again. Sure, it's a small gripe, just ease of access is the best thing. Like, I don't want to have to go from here, back, and back. I should just be able to close out if I was just checking my missions. Another thing, right here, these are the achievements. I feel like there should be some sort of reward for the achievements, but so far I really haven't seen anything. And Fire Emblem Heroes have rewards when you complete the achievements, so I would hope they did the same thing. And then maybe something here, this is also another gripe, so it's not a big deal. But here, the character viewer, I just kind of want to rotate the character. Sometimes I like looking at the character models. But, thanks Missy. Anyway, I understand, maybe they didn't want to do it because maybe you could see the butt too well or something like that. Or exploit some sort of angle. But I'm not even asking to like be able to turn her upside down. Just be able to rotate her. Like, they're walking around in the hub anyway, so why not? Same with the Pokemon. It just seems like a very limited thing that they're doing just because a few people might use it in the wrong way. I don't know. Let me talk about friends. I hope friends have a bigger meaning later on. Right now, you can do nothing with them when you're going on your own solo missions, so they're just kind of sitting there. You can play with them online, of course. But right now, I hope they're given something more. I had the same gripe with Fire Emblem Heroes. And sorry I'm mentioning it so much, but it's the closest comparison I can make right now. Another thing is the sync pair stories. Sometimes you have characters who can evolve, or I should say their Pokemon can evolve. I think I have someone on here. Ah, here you go, Bryce. When you have a character that can evolve their Pokemon, I'd rather see like some sort of special icon over that person. That way, you know, just in case you forget and you don't have any more evolution stones. Maybe over Price, you see like not only the exclamation point that, oh, you didn't watch his story yet, but also maybe an E or something like that to indicate that, oh, there's also an evolution thing here that you have not done. Now, when you finish a mission, like let's say the level up course here, normally it takes you after that, you get the experience page and then the drop page. I hope that they sooner or later add a retry button. Again, it's just a matter of making things easier for the player. Like, oh, I want to do it again. Or even retry, and then how many times do you want to retry? And it gives you a number like 1, 3, 5, or 10. Like stuff like that. It doesn't have to let you slide a number yourself. It can give you a predetermined one. And after the mission is clear, it will just run the mission again. That, I think, would make this game so much easier. Especially when you're doing missions like the level up course, where you don't have to pay attention. You can put this game on auto and let it do its thing, collecting materials. Honestly, I don't have too much to say about co-op besides I wish the pacing of it was just a bit faster. But again, we're relying on other people's internet, and specifically 3 different people's internet. Some people are in Japan, some people aren't. Like, this is a worldwide game. So there can be issues with that, so I can't gripe too much. I just wish maybe the battle speed was just a bit faster than what it normally is. As far as that goes, I think the rest I would really want is basic gacha stuff, like new events, new event modes, that kind of stuff. But I'm gonna wait and see what that is, and I think there's really no point in me saying I want these things when they're most likely gonna come sooner or later. It's just, I'll say, what can they improve on it? And so far, this game is okay, it's good enough. But once you really hit end game, things dull down really, really fast. And it's nothing new, of course, where you just end up grinding materials all day, stuff like that. Hi Claire, I saw you wave. Anyway, you know, it's same old, same old. If you play these games before, you know this routine. But this one hits that dull really, really hard. Once you hit end game, you're just like, oh god, what do I need to do? And before I go, let me just say this last one. I wish we could change the name to something longer than 10 characters. It's really annoying. Like, when I have to make a new team, I have to put like a little abbreviation of the element and stuff like that. I wish I could rename it and make it a bit longer, or maybe even put icons itself. Like, oh well, this is or icons should just be there on their own actually. Like rock, right? This should just be rock, and then it says leads. That way, at least I can see it and not have to think, okay, well, this one is this one, that one's that one. And that's really it. I'm going to make some more videos when the game becomes a bit more interesting. Right now, it's just not there. It exists. It's A+ quality gameplay. I love the gameplay a lot. Again, I keep forgetting stuff. I guess this is the big gripe that I have to mention. So, we're going to do this one, right? One of the final things I want to mention is the auto mode itself. I don't like how, for the most part, you're sitting there on auto. And I mean, at the end of the day, maybe if you're playing auto, you're not looking anyway. You know, it's not that intriguing when the game just plays itself. But it's annoying how normally they're gonna wait until like the strongest attack. So right now she's gonna keep using Shadow Ball because it's one of her strongest attacks, and I believe the computer might recognize this. But it is annoying when you're trying to grind a little bit more difficult areas. They're not hard enough for you to say, well, I need to focus on it 100%. But like one little mistake, not even one, maybe a few mistakes could cause you to lose and waste time. I feel like there should be different types of auto, or in your settings you could say use more lower cost moves, or use higher cost moves, or use a mix, or switch between characters. Something like that will really improve how the game plays by itself. So that's a big thing that I hope they address or change, because it just goes at it with like brute force in mind, which I mean doesn't fail me too many times, but you know, sometimes even this one I'll just end up losing when I really shouldn't. And I guess one more even smaller thing is just another thing that makes it easier for the players is if I go to the training area and I go all the way up to the level up course and I'm up here at level up course, I shouldn't be able to hit the home menu just from here. Go back, I should be able to hit the home menu from here because it takes 1, 2, 3 back outs to get all the way over there. And then if you just want to get to the home, I don't know, you click 2 of them. You have to either go back 2 or forward 1 and then press home at the battle screen. Regardless, just make the game a bit easier to navigate. Like put the home button anywhere you can. Anywhere that it makes sense to put a home button. Put it there. There's Iris, best girl. What? You say she's not the best girl? Shut up. Of course you're wrong. All right, now I think I'm finished. I'm finally finished. I've been playing it for a while. I'm just mixed on it, you know, but hopefully it does prove itself to be something better come a few months from now. Which is sad to say that it has to improve over that much time, but we'll see what it is by that time span. Other than that, I'm done. See you guys next time. Maybe some more Pokemon Masters if I have more like crystals to summon with. But other than that, I'll see you next time. Peace out.